Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a long time, I feel like. I like doing these episodes as often as I can. It's just things have been so crazy lately. I've been exhausted, stuff with the in-laws going on again. I just feel like it's been just a crazy time the past couple of weeks. So I wanted to just hop on real quick and talk about, what to do in the middle of craziness, what to do in the middle of when everything feels like it's just out of whack and going nuts. And mind you that my situation, it's actually a good thing right now because I'm in a transition. I've been doing training at my job for the last 2 weeks. Today is actually my last day that I'm going in to do at the time of this recording. It's my last day in training, and then tomorrow I start my overnight shifts. So I have been going through a transitional period because my schedule days are different. The things that I'm doing each day are different, and it's a good routine for getting to know an ER hospital, obviously, but that's part of the problem is that it's just been crazy. I get home at different times. I leave at different times. Sometimes I don't get great sleep because, whatever happens, I take the monitors at night or whatever. My wife still has to go to work, and so we share those responsibilities, but God only knows. Sometimes the kids don't sleep well or whatever, It's been especially crazy this past week just because, my father-in-law has gone back into the hospital with pneumonia. I told you guys it's a constant thing with the both of them all the time, on top of stuff that we're working with our kids. And, it's just, it can be stressful to keep up with life stuff, right? So one method that I've been exercising a lot lately is to just let things be as they are. And coming from a person like me who's used to having a ton of control over life and who's used to being very routine and very almost obsessive over the how things are going to go and trying to get as much control as I can over things. It's very challenging to be able to do this stuff, to run a business, to do the podcast shows that we've been doing, me and my wife, to maintain our sanity in the middle of everything else that's going on. And it's been an issue that I was talking to my wife about the other day, where she said she just doesn't feel like she can grab hold of things lately, and she doesn't feel like, she feels just whacked out and like she can't get a good hold on anything. And I've been going through that too. And the advice that I had offered was, maybe this is a time where we're not supposed to get a hold of everything. And it's painful. It's painful to hear, especially being the types of people that we are. But it's very important at the same time. And that's because, life will throw you a lot of stuff, and it'll often make you feel like you're being beat down or challenged or constantly just bombarded with stuff at times. And the way you're going to lose your mind is to try to constantly fight that. I had spoken to a therapist in my teenage years that said something very interesting, and I remember it to this day. He said, how come you guys have to fight the current when you could just go with the flow? Everybody had their answers, and I did too. And amongst those answers were things like, because if the current takes you, you can drown, or you never know where you're going to end up, or whatever. You need to fight and swim and get to shore. And in some cases, yes, if you're going to drown, you need to get out of that current. But if you stop and you go with the flow, there's power in that. You might find a stone in the river that you can stand on. You might find a tree limb hanging over the river that you can pull up on and just get out of the water for a couple of minutes. There's a lot of different avenues to be able to solve the problems that are being thrown at you all day, every day. Even if it feels like an overburdened situation, all it takes is just some mindful time to pull back and just let things be. Prioritize what absolutely needs your attention over what you want to give your attention, and even over, what doesn't need your attention. In the situation that I'm in, I am dictating every ounce of where my energy goes. And that's important to me, because am I going to give my energy to some negative situation? Am I going to give my energy to, video games or something that I want to give it to, but don't necessarily have the time to? That's the choices that I make every day that, really helps me recalibrate my life. I'm choosing to give my energy and my focus to the things that need it and that will benefit me the best and that require it right now. Everything else can wait, and everything else will get its time. When you take a step back and filter things out like that and just let things happen, there's times where you get these moments of clarity where it's like, wow, I never realized I had so much patience. I never realized I had so many good things coming to me, or so many good things happening at the same time. I never realized, that this needed my attention, because you were so focused on other things and so focused on trying to get that control. And the answer was right in front of your face the whole time. And it's not easy. It takes a long time. I've always known that I had to give up control. I've always known that I have a problem with control. And it's what fueled so many things for me. It's what fueled drinking on my spare time. It's what fueled my eating habits. It's what fueled how I treated my body and my time and my loved ones and everything in between. And it forced me to prioritize things that seemingly were stress relievers, and they ended up having more stress because I didn't prioritize them at the right time. It's such a dance, there's no other way to put it. It's such a dance, but it's so important to understand the difference of, these things. And, when you finally start getting that grasp of, the level of importance of these things, the level of what needs what right now, and just kind of getting your life and your mind together a little bit. And it's relieving, because you can literally take a deep breath and give yourself that time to just breathe. And, it's also a part of like me foreshadowing things that are coming, worrying about, am I going to get enough sleep? When can I get sleep? Things like that. And I just learned to be, hey, listen, I can take care of that stuff when it comes. And anybody else who looks at things very realistically would be like, or pessimistically or whatever, would be like, oh, but you need to prepare for that, and you need to be ready and have a backup plan. And it's true. And I've thought of a couple of backup plans, but I'm not going to drive myself crazy with the details. I'm not going to drive myself nuts. There's so many options that I can't even picture, how many opportunities and options and choices I have. So when it comes up, I trust in the universe that it will provide for me what I need to survive at that point. And adopting that has been such a beautiful, stress-relieving, pain-relieving thing. But the interesting part of that is to get to this point, it's been very stressful and very painful. And I mean painful like emotionally, to where sometimes I was short of breath, and sometimes my heart felt like it was going to jump out of my chest. And those are the most important times, because if you just sit with that feeling and you just wait and you just breathe with that feeling and be mindful of what's happening, you will grow. And you will, in those moments, advance your mentality with tools that really help bring you through that. And it's going to start to become, okay, I've been through this situation once or twice before, and this is what worked. This is what brought me out of it. I got to remember this, or I got to do this. And it'll be a beautiful thing. It's a deep breath of fresh air when you keep these things in mind. And when you keep these things, when you really turn these habits into your lifestyle, it's beautiful. There's no other word for it, honestly. If you guys need help with any of this stuff, just please let me know. Get in touch with me. You can sign up for a free consultation. You can just get in touch with me, ask me a couple of questions, whatever you need to do. All the information is going to be in the show notes. So check out the links and see what I can do for you if there's anything. And, we'll be in touch. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.